Our way into the ND Country Fest updates brought to you by Lee Gierszewski.
Wow, good job. 2 podcasts in a row.
Find your keys with Lee. Extra large camping. That's what we're going to. That's usually you come in. You're out of it. Jared's out of it. He's
I was not out of
election,
it.
Election.
You looked at me like I was supposed to play an ad there or something. So
No, I thought you were going to say extra large camping.
Extra large camping.
So let's talk about that. For some of you that don't know, we do have extra large camping at ND Country Fest, which is in July up in North Dakota. So what that brings is double the size of your regular one. It gives you a lot more space to spread out.
So we've been doing these lives and updates and all this stuff for what, a year and a half now, 2 years?
That's right.
And I never knew we had extra large camping.
We've never had to talk about it because they've sold out usually by January.
So we're just trying to get them to sell out a little bit earlier.
Bit earlier because there's not many left. There's barely any left.
We're trying to find stuff to do updates about, I suppose.
Well, it's true, right? But we also are talking about stuff that's getting tighter of, where it won't be available shortly.
If you want it, get it.
Yeah.
And that's why you get an extra large camping spot.
Well, right, because you can bring a lot more people. You can set up your camp, right? And a lot of people like to decorate a ton, and they like to set up a bar and set up their grilling site, and all of a sudden
I want a hot tub.
All of a sudden, they put their hot tubs on there.
What?
Yeah, and actually a lot of them bring those mini pools.
Oh, really?
So if you get an extra large one, which is double the size of a regular,
then you're not cramped. You can have your camping spot. You can have your hot tub spot. You can have your bar spot.
Spread out and do all that stuff. So like in VIP, there isn't many left.
Okay.
And then in Frontier, there are some. So gives you an option. But you want to jump into that extra large. We call it have your extra large party at your campsite.
Nice. Why not?
Yeah, you can check that out and you get your, hey, what also is good is tickets for the holiday, right? So
everybody likes tickets, right?
Yeah, tickets are great. VIP tickets, there's some VIP tickets still available.
You got to really like that person if you're going to buy VIP tickets.
Actually, in our show is very reasonable. So
horribly reasonable for VIP?
Yeah, so it's not that. You can kind of like them and get
you can look like a freaking saint and not have to spend a whole lot of money making them feel like a VIP.
It's very true.
Why wouldn't you do it?
So you can jump on and grab those VIP tickets for your Christmas gifts. You can even GA your Frontier campsite, your VIP extra large campsite.
Right.
You go to ndcountryfest.com.
There's a plethora of things for you to buy for Christmas. Yeah. Just one-stop shop.
Go check that out. And also what you'll be able to see shortly on ndcountryfest.com is a link to our podcast and all of our videos.
We're going to have a landing spot?
That's right.
So how's the McConaughey thing going?
So Matthew McConaughey, you are invited to ND Country Fest 2021. You skipped our great state of North Dakota. You went to all 49 states except for Austin. That was maybe like 10 years ago. But that's okay. We want you to come back. Bring the Airstream. Bring the canoe. We want you to be there. You want to enjoy that ND Country Fest good time and that North Dakota nice. There are, I know that there's many people who have reached out to him.
Have they really?
Yes, and it's been great.
Has he responded at all?
Nobody's responded at all. He has not, but we're going to just keep grinding it out all the way to the show, and you never know. Matthew McConaughey.
I bet it'll happen. Luke Luck is going to reach down. He's going to find something to chuckle about, and then he's going to be like, all right, I'm going.
He'll probably watch the podcast.
All right, Luke. I'm going to the festival.
All right. Let's hear more about Lee Gierszewski, Jared.
What sets me apart is I like to interact with my 8 clients a little bit more, maybe just actually become more friends with them than just a client business relationship. I'd probably have to say it'd be Who Hut just because I like the food and my daughter absolutely loves it. I chose real estate because I like to help people and it's fun, it's exciting, it can be stressful, but it's always good to just find a solution to a problem.
All right, we're riding into festival news around the world.
Right? And it wasn't around the world. It was 45 minutes northwest of our general location?
I was driving, so it was about 30 minutes west of Phoenix.
It was quick, right?
Wickenburg, Arizona.
It was crazy.
Flying Ranch.
For being that close to Metro Phoenix, it seemed like a whole different world.
It completely is.
I felt as soon as we got out there, I felt like I was back in Cody, YO, and just a small town feel.
Well, and that's what a lot of people, when we were talking about that on our drive out there, but it was as soon as you get about 30 miles outside of Metro.
30 minutes from my house, and we were in small town USA.
It's very rural, which I enjoy because that's how
great.
I grew up too.
It was funny because we were going, and I had very minimal expectations for what we were attending on a Wednesday night in Wickenburg, Arizona. And I was thinking, all right, we'll go out. There's going to be 25 people. It'll be all right. I don't know who this Tracy Bird guy is. Whatever we're doing. Obviously, good time. We both got
you
shirts.
got a t-shirt. Must have had a blast.
I did. You offered to buy it. I'm like, no, this is a good show.
I wanted you to spice up your wardrobe for the show
with a little country.
Yeah.
So
I was hoping you would just say, no, I'll buy yours too. And I was like, oh, but that didn't happen.
We go through small town Wickenburg. And it reminds you of picturesque, whatever a small town is. We get on a dirt road, and then
let's first say we're going to the Tracy Bird concert at Flying E Ranch.
At Flying E Ranch, we get off the dirt road or the road to the Flying E Ranch. We come around the corner, and we're thinking we're an hour early, maybe. And the parking lot is jam packed.
Over 100 cars there.
Big lights, and I'm just sort of like, whoa, what are we getting into?
And I was like this. Yeah.
And woo! So we go up and, get our tickets. We get temperature checked.
Thank you, Angie, for having us at the Flying E Ranch.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you for the tickets. We appreciate that.
She had the warm hands. And
you had the warm hands.
And so then
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we will. But it was, go in. There must have been 250, 300 people there?
Oh yeah, easy. 250, 300. It's a great setting, and it's a really, it's an old Western setting. It is a ranch. Obviously, it's an operating ranch.
It's very touristy. Like they have the Old West facade behind you. They had a nice bar. And then the cool pavilion, right?
Yeah, and that's where the main stage is, on that main pavilion. If you watch our live on our Facebook on the Fest podcast page, or the Indie Country Fest one, we went live on there too, and you can see it. And Jared shot it, and it was a really good layout. I like the pavilion.
Look good.
Thanks.
With the backdrop and the music
and the lights and the people.
Yeah.
What was really cool was when we went in there, is that everybody was really respectable of everybody's space.
Yeah, it was crazy. Cigar friendly crowd, so I was very happy.
Because usually you catch hell for the cigar smoke.
Yeah,
right?
well, I wait to see what the crowd's like, and there were 5-10 other people smoking cigars around me. So I was like, okay.
Now with country people,
right?
We're all go ahead, man.
All right,
do your thing.
I'm going to be at a country concert. I'm going to enjoy myself. So I lit up a cigar. Halfway through, a lady came over and asked if I could get a light. And stood back.
She did. She was quite a ways away. Yeah. I think you didn't hear her either right away. Wasn't that right?
Yeah,
or something you're like, huh?
What do you want? And then I had to figure out
which 20 pockets to dig into. You had your coat.
I was wearing the tactical vest or the tactical jacket with 25 pockets, and apparently I slipped it into the very last pocket.
But you did have the mic, and you had the stand.
I had the mic. I had the stand.
You had the other
I was the Sherpa
and all that. It was good.
Yeah, and everybody gave everybody their space. If you're a VIP, they had seats for you up on the pavilion. Mm-hmm. If you weren't, then you could bring your own chairs, which we didn't.
I move around anyway, so I wasn't going to sit down. I usually don't.
But you could have brought your chairs, sat tailgate style, out there next to the bonfire.
Yeah, super cool bonfire that they had out there.
And they were just friendly. Who was it? Brandon Lee?
Yep, Brandon Lee opened up for Tracy Bird there. And it was acoustic. It wasn't full band, but it was all just a great
But it was great. We were recording. We're getting ready to record, and some of the locals, because he's a Wickenburg local, are like, hey, that's Brandon Lee. You should get a hold of him. He's really, really good.
And we are going to have him on.
Yeah, we're going to have him on. And, he was a good dude talking to him.
So on that whole experience there, it was a great event because it was the first live event that I've been to with live music ever since the shutdown. We came into that thing. There was 250 to 300 people. It was so relaxed. It was so welcoming, if you want to say that where there was, everybody gave each other space. The show was going on. You could go and get a beverage. You weren't overcrowded whatsoever. People kind of, like I said, they gave their space. If you went and ordered a drink, they just backed off a little bit, and then you gave them the space. Same thing with the bathrooms. They had hand sanitizer everywhere. It was outside, obviously, and it was great.
Wasn't it kind of like somebody just turned back the dial a year and we were just back to normal times?
So when I walked in there, I was like, all smiles. I was like, I'm in the element. I am on this. I'm just gonna enjoy every damn minute of this.
I walked in and had to take a second and kind of had to adjust my mindset, because I was like, whoa, that's a lot of people. Do I want to be around a lot of people? I was okay with the 25 people I thought that were going to be there in my brain.
I was hoping there wasn't going to be. In my mind, there's maybe 100. I was like, okay, 100 would be good for Wednesday. I don't know what the feel is and how many people would come out for it.
But you've got some vested interest in it.
Oh, of course.
The more people that are out watching live music, the better off Indie Country Fest is going to do down the road.
Oh, absolutely.
In my mind, and I'll be legitimately honest, I had no idea who Tracy Byrd was. I was going in completely virginal or blind or whatever you want to call it.
Deaf?
Sort of.
You never heard it.
Never heard it.
Yeah.
I was just going because content, and you needed a Sherpa to carry the camera.
And I wanted to go to the concert.
And you wanted to go, and I'm like, it's a Wednesday night. What else am I going to do? Right. And there was a bit of a moment where I was like, oh, okay, what are we doing? And then you're like, you comfortable?
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I just need a moment to take this all in. And it was more... I think it was more the whole.
Oh, of course.
We're urban Phoenix, right?
You haven't been any. Well, neither have I. Nobody's been anywhere
just
to
been
live.
in urban Phoenix, which is way different from like California or whatever you're at, right? So, and I think we're at a little bit of difference. But when you get out to rural Arizona, it was a literal time shift to a year ago. It hadn't felt that normal in a long, long time.
Right. And I think it was good. I think for more of the people that get out to those type of shows where it is controlled and they can go out and have that good time that they've been wanting for 7 months, however long it's been. I think whenever that person makes that decision, yep, I'm going to go and experience live music again or a live event again, you're all going to feel that little bit of apprehension because you haven't done it for so long.
Well, yeah. And, I'll be honest, Tracy Byrd was really good. He's got that 90s sound, right? And there were a couple songs that I have heard of or had been through, like the Watermelon Crawl, maybe. I've heard that. And then the Tequila song, whatever that one was. I've heard.
4 rounds of Jose Cuervo.
What about the Party Bone? Something's connected.
Oh, yeah.
So some of those songs I had heard before. I just hadn't connected it to him.
So I'm a big fan of Tracy Byrd.
Right.
And I can tell all of you right now that it was just straight acoustic and he sounded amazing. He sounded like he did back in 1990 or even when he had all those #1 hits.
He sounded
great. The one thing I was impressed with and I wasn't ready for was the cool covers that he did.
Yeah, he did a little Buffett. Dukes of Hazzard, maybe?
It was the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. It was
straight.
Poncho and Lefty. He did not do any George Strait.
I'm pretty sure he did.
No, I think you think it was George Strait, but it was his own. Keeper of the Stars is his song.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But I was impressed with that. I was impressed with the performance. We actually met up with his tour manager and talked to him for quite a while. Super great guy.
That guy was great because you're
awesome.
just like, oh, hey, you guys are still under lockdown here. And you're like, I don't know. It doesn't feel that bad here, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we're playing everywhere. And it was, honestly, if they'd had a full band there,
oh, it would have been rocking.
it would have been a rocking show.
Yeah, it'd have been.
Right. It was a great acoustic show.
Oh, it was.
Like
and people are still singing and dancing, like you said.
There was a couple there that danced. It was their 40th anniversary.
Oh, that's right.
They got up
yeah.
and danced and sang, and the crowd was giving him a little bit of heck, wanting him to sing a song. And
he said, "You don't. This is my first time doing this.
First rodeo."
Yeah, I do that song at the end, buddy, and then you can go home. That was great.
He played the crowd. It was, it was great. And that place is great. They're doing Thanksgiving there. It reminds me of a place outside of Cody that we used to go to for Easter with my mom and dad.
Yep.
Called the Flying Skytel. And we go up there. My mom would get us all dressed up in our Easter whatevers. And we loved going out there. So I think this Easter, I'm going to take her out there as, I guess, sort of a surprise if she's not watching or listening, and go out there because Angie does a great job.
Oh, Angie is great. And that whole experience out there, you can do horseback riding, like you said, and they can do the meals on Thanksgiving and
Angie
Christmas.
went live with Steak Fry last weekend where they had people and live music out there.
And there's stagecoach rides for kids. There's all kinds of things out there. You should check it out at flyingeranch.com. That's Wickenburg, Arizona. Experience that. Experience the West, especially if you are, if you're in here in Phoenix and listening to us, get out there. It's a great experience.
If you've never experienced what it's like to be Western, it's a good way to go.
Oh, it's fun. One thing I do want to bring it back to is the crowd, and when Tracy Byrd was performing, and what I usually watch is the crowd. Not necessarily always the performer.
Well, that's the best part of a show, right? Is people watching.
Well, I'm going to bring it back to what I always want to look at the reaction to the performance.
Okay.
And what was great to see, and what made me feel great about it is when I was watching the crowd and watching the people and seeing them, they were smiling, they were laughing, they were singing, and they were having fun with their friends, and they were enjoying life. They were loving it.
Well, we had
And
a
it
good
was
time. We just
awesome.
chattered the whole way home and talked about how great it was. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was good. But that what brings back to it. You can't replace live music and what you feel about it when you're there with a good group of people
So
and
different than
entertainment.
live streaming.
I'm glad you agree.
100%. Like, it's 100%. I would rather see a live show than live streaming. But if I can't get a live show, I like live streaming.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, right, Jared?
Right.
All the rest, and we are out of here. Woo!